Welcome to this video in which I'm going to be focusing on OneNote for Windows 10, particularly the aspects of distributing work to students, reviewing students' work, including locking pages, and how to integrate OneNote with Teams to produce assignments that automatically distribute at a certain time and lock after a certain period of time. For example, timed exam papers questions. This is based in an established notebook that already has loads and loads and loads of content library sections, some teacher planning areas throughout 3 years, and of course the major feature of OneNote that every single student has their own section where they can do their own work. Now I'm going to pick on this particular page here, which has already been distributed to this section in the student notebooks, but I'm going to do it again. So after selecting the page, I'm going up to the top right hand corner just to verify that the page has definitely been synced. I pop over to the Class Notebook toolbar. Now this looks exactly the same in the web version, but I'm currently using the Windows 10 app. So to distribute this page, I pop over to Distribute Page and select Distribute Page from the options available. A panel will appear on the right hand side listing all the student sections that I can distribute the work into. Now this is a 2.5 section in our spec, so I'm going to select their 2.5 section and then pop and click Distribute. OneNote will keep me posted on the distribution process, which actually happens on the server end. And you don't have to stay around and watch, but the process usually completes fairly quickly, and it'll indicate done when complete. While it's doing that, you can go back and distribute further pages, or just close the panel. Now from that point, the students have a copy of the page. If they go onto OneNote live at that moment, they will see that page, and you can come back later and review what the students have done, or even watch them work live if you wish to. Review student work in the Class Notebook toolbar is where you can go to do that. Again, a panel pops up on the right hand side, and all you need to do is to select the same section and click Next. And so I'm going to select the top page, which is the most recent one to be distributed. Click Next, and it'll list all of the students. Now obviously you can't see the names of the students for privacy reasons. So if I click on each of the names, it will take me to their individual version of the page. And obviously in this case, the pages are the same. So say I distribute a page and I decide that I want to bring that page back. Well, that's also possible. So through the Class Notebook toolbar, you can go to Distribute Page, and at the very bottom you'll notice Delete Page. Again, the panel will pop up on the right hand side and we can select the section, and we can select the page that we accidentally distributed that we didn't mean to. There's another one of these, and click Next. A quick confirmation to make sure that we absolutely do want to remove that from these students. And another confirmation because this is a dangerous process. And the page will be gradually deleted from every student section. So that pretty much handles the digital equivalent of photocopying, the handing of work out to each section, and also the ability to go and review work as they're working or after the event. But here you'll see an exam paper. Could easily be a example exam question. What happens if you want to set this to be worked on at a particular time for a fixed period of time? If the students have access to the OneNote page from the point you deliver it to them, and they can digitally type in it whenever, what happens there? Well, one thing you can do using the review student work, and here I've gone to another section which only has one workbook included. If we select that workbook, click Next on Review Student Work, you'll notice that we have page locking. Now pressing page locking opens up a tick box next to every student, and I can press the Select All and then click Apply. And this will lock every single student's page. They can no longer edit that page on OneNote. I can untick individual students or untick the entire group and click Apply to release the students so they can now edit the page again. So in an online lesson, you can distribute a page live and then lock it at a certain time so the students' responses have been locked so they can only answer for a particular period of time. But there's also an automated way of doing it through Teams. So here I am in the same team where the Class Notebook exists, and I've moved across to the Assignments tab on the General channel. Down here I can click Create and Assignment. So this can be used generally in any of your teams to add a PowerPoint presentation or a Word document that you want the students to edit, perhaps a template, and the students get their own copy of that document digitally through SharePoint, and you can set deadlines and so forth. But it's particularly powerful through OneNote. So I can quickly add a title and some instructions to the students. And under Add Resources is where I can link it to the OneNote. So here you can put things like web links, you can add files directly from your computer, select files from OneDrive, but also stuff from the Class Notebook. So it gives me access to the whole of the content library and my teacher area. So here's the fake page I added earlier. Here is my exam question. Click Attach, And we just need to select the students section where we want the page to be distributed to. Click Done. Now by default with resources, students can edit their own copy, but you can adjust this using the menu on the right. By default this will be distributed to all students, but you can pick individual ones for differentiation. And the key thing to make this useful is to prepare the timing. So click the Edit button just to the right of the message, and you get the ability to schedule the assignment in advance and close it off at a particular time. So here I've filled in the details for an assignment that will only be available for 40 minutes. It will automatically start on Wednesday at 12:35, and the published due date will be the same day at 1:15. But importantly, I ticked off close date, and the close date for the assignment, which is a hard deadline, will also be the same time. So for some assignments, you might have a due date, which is maybe at the end of the lesson, but you'll actually be okay for students to be able to hand the work in maybe until 4 o'clock that day. But for a timed exam question, this allows me to be very strict. Now if I click Schedule, that will actually create the assignment, students will be notified, and at the start time for the assignment, the OneNote page will appear in their folder. At the end time, the page will remain in their folder but be automatically locked. And I'm obviously free through OneNote to de-lock the page for individual students if, for example, they needed extra time. So this is one of the really useful integrations between OneNote and Teams that allows you to set assignments, monitor their work, and also prepare things in advance so they work on a more strict basis.